Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Love is in the air. Everywhere I look.
Little Valentine's weekend. You're going to be doing something with your sweetie. Baby, you're going to be doing something with your sweetie.
Every sight and every sound.
You know, it's funny when you go and you look up Valentine's, you realize that this is like a bloody nasty holiday. Based on Christian martyrs, guys getting beheaded. It's like today's politics. Kind of like that. That's not very nice. I was telling the boys earlier, just we were joking around. We were talking about music and stuff like that. But there's just politics is nuts, right? Like it's crazy, and we could sit here and talk about impeachment. I won't do that because I don't want to bore anybody. If you've seen the ratings, they're really not doing anything. People are over it. People are on to something else, and I think most Americans are. And I think that's an amazing thing that and this just shows you a lot of things. First of all, it shows you what we're about, which is we have the attention span of a gnat. We take in a lot of things, but we also prioritize. I get frustrated because I think a lot of people think Americans are, and we've been critical of at times, ignorant, stupid. They're not. We have our care meter, right? What's your care meter at? Depends on the situation. When it comes to my children, my care meter's all the way up there. When it comes to things that affect my life, my care meter is all the way up there. When it comes to things that are important, but it really has no effect on my life, it might be half full. That's going up. It's not all the way there. And I think for a lot of people, that's the way they feel about this. They're looking around. The economy is number one in their moment. The health side of things is number one in their moment. The fact is that this weekend they're thinking, oh, man, it's Valentine's Day. I better remember to get my wife something, my girlfriend something, both of them, my husband. This is mostly a women's holiday. Let's not pretend. But you got to think about where your care meter is in life. What's important to you is important to you. And that's the thing that will drive each and every day the things that you do and work for. You know it and I know it. We pay attention to things that matter to us. For some reason, we pay attention to stupid things, reality TV, wacky things that go on the internet, all of those things, because it matters in a way where it takes stress off of your life. If the guy that turned himself into a cat can take 15, 20 minutes in a day or a week off the stress that is your life, you do it. Well, that doesn't really matter. No, it matters because it helps you. It's little things like that. When I watch impeachment, what are we getting out of this? We know what the outcome's going to be. Well, they're going to talk today. If I'm Trump's, I just walk up and go, yeah, we rest. That's it. And we turn around and walk away. Let's have you vote and go home. Oh, okay. Simple as that. What matters to us is what's important to us. The economy, first and foremost.
From a top-down perspective, if you want to design this stimulus so that you're kind of filling the economic hole that was created by the pandemic, that hole in 2021 probably going to be about $420 billion. That's front-loaded. And so, next month is the end of the first quarter. The biggest part of that hole will occur in the first quarter. So as we move forward, the hole's going to shrink. The president's $1.9 trillion plan would fill that hole 4.5 times.
Okay, so there's money. Where is it? How are we going to get it? Is it too big? Is it massive? How does that affect us long term? But what are people asking? When are we going to get our money? When are we going to get our money? When are we going to get our money?
I don't believe in a stimulus check, because if $600 or $1,400 changes your life, you were pretty much screwed already. You got other issues going on. You have a career problem, you have a debt problem, you have a relationship problem, you have a mental health problem. Something else is going on if $600 changes your life.
Dave Ramsey's absolutely right. $600 changed your life 100 years ago, of course, because people probably made $1,000 a year. Too many people live close to the edge, trying to survive day to day for a lot of reasons. I've been there. Many of you listening have been there, are there. I was talking to a couple of people last night. They're like, why aren't more people paying attention? I'm like, because they are paying attention to the things that matter to them. This has no bearing on their life. There's that old saying, how does this affect me? Well, it really doesn't. Okay, then, why should I care at this moment? Dave Ramsey's right. If you have $600 somebody's going to hand you, and that's going to change your life, got to rethink. Wait, hold on a second. People care about the things that matter to them. What matters to you is important to you. Your kid's soccer game this weekend, your business, whether or not you're going to have a job, your kids getting into school, those things matter, as well as the health side of things, also mattering. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. It is the Valentine's, just going over like the weird creepiness of Valentine's based on, how do we get to this point where we have Valentine's Day? Like it starts based on, a couple Christian martyrs that were beheaded, and it's like, but that's so many ways of our holidays start in a really gruesome way. I mean, think about just for a second, right? So think about Valentine's Day. And think about how we talk about how in the real origins of how it got started. The Feast of St. Valentine, celebrated annually. Right? So 2 Christian early martyrs beheaded on the 14th of February. There's a number of other stories to go with it. But one of the legends, as far as the theme of love, is the 18th century embellishment about the claim that the jailer's daughter signed a letter, "Your Valentine," as a farewell, before one of the martyrs was beheaded. And you go through all this stuff. But that's where we started. We know they were beheaded. Whether or not that's true, probably not. But now we're at a point where it's like, oh, my God, I should probably get candy for somebody. It's like when we celebrate Easter. What's Easter? It's like, well, you're supposed to celebrate the resurrection of Christ. So there's an Easter bunny? Is that in the story? And there's eggs? It all starts with something, and then we take it. Are you going to get your loved one something? Of course. You have to. And now you have to get everything for the kids, too, because they all expect stuff. Oh, God. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. Tweet at us. Hope you're feeling well. Long week. Just crazy stuff happening. I'm not going to lie. I'm excited. I'm excited to enjoy a little 3-day weekend coming up. It's going to be nice to get and relax. Jackson Town, which I love. Don't get enough time. There's a perfect example of what matters in life. It's my Valentine right there. That little guy. Here, hanging out, having fun. This weekend's going to be all about him riding his little dirt bike around and around and around and around, and I'll love every second of it. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. More on Valentine's Day, including what to get the person you used to love, but now either you or she hate each other. So why not get them this special gift? I don't think Hallmark has one of those cars. Raycon, best earbuds around. I love it each and every single day. I wear my Raycons. Going to go play golf maybe a little bit later, work on my putting, take my Raycons with me. Got up earlier today, was doing my push-ups, doing all that kind of stuff, go for a walk, get the blood, the juices flowing. Guess what? My Raycons are on. Listening to music, better sound quality, better design. All of those things are amazing, but it's the fit that changes everything. No stems, no wires. Said it the other night when I was out playing, hitting on the range, and I swing, fairly hard. A little older now. I don't want my back to go out. Guy next to me had his earbuds in. Him and his wife. Every time he swung, because apparently he was trying to win something, his little earbud would fly off. And I kept thinking it was his T, it was his earbud. You don't have to worry about that with Raycons. Get yours now. Save big. Normally, $200-$300 for something like this. These earbuds, well under $100. They can be yours now with an extra 15% off. Go to buyraycon.com/Chad. 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 Chad Benson Show.
The Chad Benson Show, where we reach across the aisle and occasionally poke someone in the eye.
This afternoon, we signed the final contracts for 100 million more Moderna and 100 million more Pfizer vaccines. We're also able to move up the delivery dates with an additional 200 million vaccines to the end of July. And in further good news, both companies agreed, and we're now contractually obligated to expedite delivery of 100 million doses that were promised by the end of June to deliver them by the end of May. That means we're now on track to have enough supply for 300 million Americans by the end of July.
Sounds great. Here's the thing. How long do they last? Nobody knows. So maybe it's 6 months, maybe it's a year, maybe you only need a booster, maybe you get both of these shots and then every year or two you go get another one. Maybe you have to get both these shots every 6 months. Nobody knows. Same thing with the antibodies. Just because they say it doesn't show up when you take an antibodies test after you've had it doesn't mean it can't reactivate. That's what some people, nobody knows because it's novel. We get that. We do. We absolutely get that. And I read a great article, I think it was in Stats yesterday, about if you look at the stats, if you go and look, we're not going to get to herd immunity on vaccines alone. And in many cases, if it's totally true, which I don't think it is, I don't think we need 90%, 85 or 90% to get to herd immunity. And part of the reason that I don't think we need that is more often, if you go and look at what it takes to get to herd immunity in a lot of these things, it's not that. But we can reduce it significantly over the coming months to the point where between exposure, people who have gotten sick, and people who've gotten the vaccinations, plus we're talking about the asymptomatic too. So many people out there who've had this and never knew they had it. Thought they had a head cold. Thought they had, I had a sinus infection or, I worked out yesterday really hard, so I just didn't think anything of it for a couple of days. We're going to get there kind of like that. But even if everybody got vaccinated today that wants to get vaccinated, and that's the big word, wants, doesn't mean we're going to get to that, 85%, 80%. There are 13% of people in the country that will not take this thing no matter what. Is the best that they can come up with as far as for sure they know there's 13%. There's another 22% that are hesitant to take it. Let's say you split that in half, you're at almost 25%. That means 1 in 4 will not take it. If 80% is your goal, you're not going to hit it. Does it mean we live with masks forever? No. I think at the end of the day, we're going to get to a certain point where we have to return life back to normal and take our chances. And by that, I mean the people who won't get vaccinated But you need to understand what the rules are. And the other question is, when are we going to have the chance to just go get it? Not in a special group, not in like, hey, you know what? You've got to come here at 2:30 in the morning and you have to be over 65 or you have to have comorbidities. When will that be?
By the time we get to April, that will be what I would call, for better wording, open season. Namely, virtually everybody and anybody in any category could start to get vaccinated.
Good. I think most people want to know that. Open season. So good. Meaning go to your doctor, go to your pharmacy, go to Walgreens, go to wherever, get it. Get it and get on with our lives. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show. That's your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program as well. Love hearing from all of you. I do. We're going to talk in a minute about, we've got an update on, we got a good update on Gorilla Glue Lady. And then we've got an update on the guy who took the Gorilla Glue challenge part 2 that he just essentially made up, and what he did and how he got himself into a heap of trouble because apparently stupid is catchy. Like, if we need to get a vaccination, can we get a vaccination for stupid? That would be, well, I don't know. Can we? No, I don't think we can, but that would be funny, right? 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show, Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. What matters to you? Like I said, we were talking about it a lot this week. It's just life is different for everybody. So what matters to you may not matter to me. What matters to me may not matter to you. All of us have our little area where, we intersect in the things that matter. And we can agree on certain things. But at the end of the day, when we look around and you see people on television screaming their hair is on fire and that this is what's happening and that is what's happening and you should pay attention to this or you should be scared of this, your life is your own. And what matters to you is the thing that you will focus on. Not that other things aren't important, because we all know they are. But your life is the one that you're living. And that's the thing you have control of. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show. Twitter, tweet, text. Love hearing from you. Chad Benson Show.
The Chad Benson Show.
Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
Claire certainly knows all about litter boxes because of her cat, Rue. And do you know what is worse than a room full of litter boxes? Exes.
So I love bad local television. Nothing makes me smile more. A, this is a great story if you don't like your ex. But B, you take that and you couple it with bad puns and local news, and you got a winner.
Oh, okay. The Lexington Humane Society is holding a smear campaign just in time for Valentine's Day. For a $10 donation, your ex's name will be written on a litter box so one of the LHS cats can poo on them.
Normally that's extra, but are these German cats? You're laughing, Phil, and I know you are. So it gets better. It's just bad local television. Do you think when they're doing this, like, oh, jeez, I went to school. I got a degree. I'm paying this thing back forever. On with the puns. So here's the deal. We see this every year for the holidays. If you had a bad situation with your ex, if you had issues with your ex, she left you, he cheated on you, she cheated on him, you guys are just awful, but you can't get over it, He or she's moved on. You're mad. Take revenge.
The Humane Society says cats. Oh my gosh, the picture is terrible. The Humane Society.
By the way, the picture that they have, you can write your ex's name on the litter box, and the cat's in there. It's all his eyes are all watery.
The Humane Society says cats. Oh my gosh, the picture is terrible. The Humane Society's cats can be spiteful creatures who are more than happy to take a number 2 on your former number 1. Donations can be made on the LHS website. The stinky promotion ends on February 12th.
Take a number 2 on your number 1. I love bad television.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
You know what is so worth it for me is just to hear if you would actually end up saying poo or what you would call it. That was beautiful.
Yes.
What do they call it on Twitter? Retribution?
Yeah, retribution. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Oh, my. All right.
Bad television. So if you want to do that. I know, like, it's like zoos always run this. Like, they'll feed a cockroach named after your ex to, like, one of their lizards. So I said this weekend, if you guys have bad situation with your exes, if you've been in a situation where they were mean to you, something, send me what took place as far as why you broke up with them or they broke up with you and their name. I got a bunch of frozen rats and gnarly mice, and I will feed them to Big Norman and to Ozzy and to all of my big ones, and I'll take some video or pictures, show you that your ex has been eaten. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. Coronavirus not going anywhere. We got vaccines coming, but the question is, how long do I have to wear this damn mask?
I think that until we get a degree of virus that's so low that in and of itself is not a threat, I think we will be wearing masks for a considerable period of time.
That is not what I want to hear, Dr. Fauci.
It might be that we accept the wearing of masks the way some of the Asian countries do, where people don't wear masks all the time.
But the Asian countries, more often than not, they wear masks. Why? A lot of it's pollution. A lot of it's pollution. More of it's pollution. But there's other reasons as well. I don't want to wear the mask. I'm over it. I think we're all over it. I wear it out of respect for the people I work with, the places that ask me to. So I do. People like we've been having this debate. Like, are people wearing masks less or more? And I say it's hard to tell. It depends where you are, right? Like, I go into the grocery store, Target or Walmart or something. I see 95% of people wearing a mask, if not 100%. When I go golfing, nobody wears a mask outside of going inside. And the funny thing is, so I was saying, so this past weekend I was out, I go to this one golf course. It's really, really beautiful. And I'm kind of out in the middle of nowhere. So I'm out in the middle of a little bit of nowhere. So, but it's a beautiful golf course, and it's in one of those over 50 communities. And they let anybody come in and play. It's an open to come in and play. So I go there. And you got to wear a mask to pay for your round or to get golf balls. So I go and I'm going to hit about 100 balls, and I'm going to work on my chipping and putting. And I look over where they're going to start. There's probably 200 people, all over the age of 60 plus. Not a one of them wearing a mask. Even though they're outside, they're all hanging out with each other, drinking beers, having fun. And I was like, oh, so there you go, and that's it. It's a pick and choose place, right? And I think for some people, there's just certain areas. A park. I'm not wearing a mask at a park. On the golf course, I'm not wearing a mask. Go for a run. I'm not wearing a mask. But if I was in a crowd of people, I might wear a mask. Not because I'm worried about getting it. I'm worried about, because I've already had it. I'm worried about giving it to someone. More often than not, I think most people, their entire fear through this, minus a few, has been giving it to somebody they love and then that person dying. But I don't know if A year? Yeah. And 2 masks? I don't think so. I think you've got till about the end of summer. And I think some states, Florida, Texas, that mask thing is going to slowly but surely fade away faster there than anywhere else. Faster there than anywhere else. But I do think we have I want to say that there's a sell-by date with this. And I thought it would have come by now. But now that we got vaccines, I think once we have that free-for-all where everybody knows they have access to vaccines, they talk about, well, we're going to have to wear masks through 2022. No. If we have a vaccine and we have an opportunity to get out and vaccinate people, and some people don't want to get vaccinated, that's their problem. It's not mine. Like if I went somewhere where I knew, okay, you know what, this person can't. They've got allergies. They can't get vaccinated. It could kill them. Yeah. Okay, there's a respect level there. Just like if I had a friend who had cancer and was going through something, and I would go visit him or we go do something, I would wear a mask because I would want to give them something. So that's totally understandable. The thought, though, that 2022 or this might be the new norm, 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. I joked earlier, I wish we get a vaccine for stupid. It can't happen. You know that, and I know that. I mean, they're trying everything, right? Like vaccines for stupid. No, they're not trying it, but they'll think about it. But they do have things now they're working on, like obesity pills. We're going to touch on that later. They've got pills to help you with focus. And I'm not just talking about like the ADD, ADHD kind of stuff, but other stuff they're bringing out. But you can't fix stupid, right? Like, some things you can't teach. You can't teach somebody to be fast, right? They are fast. You can make them faster, but you can't teach them that. You can't teach genetics and good looks. Gail Gadot, we were talking about that earlier. You can't look like that. That's just genetics. Yes, she takes care of herself outside of that, but that is genetics. Kind of the same way with stupid. And poor decision making. Poor decision making. And we all remember Gorilla Glue.
Hey, y'all. My hair has been like this for about a month now. It's not by choice. No, it's not by choice.
Well, it was because you put Gorilla Glue on your hair because you ran out of hairspray. So everybody made fun of her. That stuff, and it got racial at times, and that's stupid. We can all agree. We all know that's asinine stupid. So she couldn't get the Gorilla Glue out. We talked about all of those things. Finally, she had the opportunity. She went to Los Angeles. Yes, she had a procedure.
Crazy, huh? It's back.
How's it feel to feel your hair like that again?
Crazy, I can scratch it.
It looks great.
Incredible. Now I wish I'd have waited to cut my ponytail off.
You were in pain, though. You had to.
How do you feel now that this whole ordeal is basically over? So you just came from the barber. Do you want to do any more hairstyling now, or are you done with hair products for a while?
So what they did is the guy looked at all of the doctor. He went and he broke everything down, and he looked at all of it, and then he said it was just basic chemistry. I broke it down. I had a special medical adhesive remover. It's like you have to order it. You and I aren't getting it off Amazon or anything. And then he broke it down and he measured stuff out, and he put her like a twilight anesthesia, and he undid it, and her hair was back to normal. So good for her. And you thought, well, people are going to learn their lesson. But I said the other day, well, people aren't going to learn their lesson because people see something like this and they see what's going on and the opportunity for them to get a little bit of fame or to try something to say, ha-ha, look at me, I'm going viral. Case in point, Len Martin, we touched on him yesterday. He said he was going to do the challenge that he just made up, which was the Gorilla Glue Challenge. And he glued a red cup, Solo cup, to his face, and it got stuck.
I trimmed the cup with some Gorilla Glue and placed it in my mouth for a few seconds, or for a few minutes, and which I thought that I could lick it off, kind of, to moisten it and pull it right off. But that didn't work, though.
Because you can't. It's the whole point. That's what Gorilla Glue is all about. You can't lick it all off. He's in the hospital. Picture of him with the giant Solo cup sticking out of his mouth. They're also putting, this is what This was hilarious. They're also putting mask on him because he's at the hospital.
Basically, keep it covered up. You don't want, with all these things floating around and stuff like that, you don't want to get it infected. And you don't want anything like that to happen, Keep it covered up with all these viruses going on and stuff like that. And
don't be stupid. Again, no shot for that. So they finally had to remove it somewhat old-fashioned way.
They did like a peeling, basically a moistening peeling, to get it off from there, from my upper skin on my lip, So basically all that has been torn off,
Yeah. Tear part of his lip off. And they said if it doesn't heal right, they're going to have to remove part of his lip. Let this be a lesson. Let this be a lesson. Don't be stupid. Life's about choices. Life is about choices. You make solid decisions. Tell my kids this all the time. Make solid choices. Life is about, it's essentially a giant act of attrition. Stand back. Eventually, you may be the only one standing because people will make poor choice after poor choice. So stupid. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. And it's going to happen again. It is. It's somebody's going to do something. And now that they know there's a way to undo this, it's going to happen more frequently. What does that mean for you and me? Well, when you go to buy Gorilla Glue, I have a feeling sooner rather than later, you're going to have to ask the person behind the counter if you can unlock the Gorilla Glue. Oh, God. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show. It's your Twitter. Like I say, if you've got an ex you're not fond of, maybe she broke your heart or he broke your heart, let me know. We'll throw a mouse in with my big lizard or a rat. We'll name it after them, and I'll take a picture for you. Chad, just saying, that's it. It's great. It's a good thing. Get it out. If you're that angry, just let it out. But you got to promise me once you let it out, you let it go. Once Norman or Ozzy or Mo or Brady or Gomez and Morticia swallow it, or Agatha, you'll let it go. Let it go. All right, time to move on. Home title lock. I was reading an article yesterday, Washington Post, about a woman, a husband, and their child bought a house, nice house, and somebody stole their house. And they were like, what? People ask me, is this stuff really happening? It does happen. It's happening more frequently. And that's why you need home title lock. Protects against your house being stolen. She's still in court trying to get her title back. Right now they can do anything they want with that house. Sell it, borrow on it, take that money. It's crazy. And it's happening more and more, too, where people are stealing it and just moving into somebody's second home. Protect your home with home title lock. Easy to get all of your information off the interweb. It's all public records. Couple fake signatures, fake notary. Next thing you know, your house is in somebody else's hands. They're borrowing against it. They're moving in. You can't do anything. And the thousands upon thousands of dollars it costs to fight it in court, in many cases, you may not come anywhere near winning, and it could break you. So don't let it break you. Get home title lock. Protect your home now. Go to HometitleLock.com. Use code radio for 30 days, free protection. Register your address. See if you've already been a victim. That's HometitleLock.com, code radio. HometitleLock.com, code radio. Chad Benson Show.
I can't take it anymore!
Well, get over it. It's time to forge a new path with your very own political cartographer, Chad.
Judas and the Black Messiah, out today on HBO Max and in limited theaters, based on the true story of an FBI informant who infiltrated the Black Panthers in Chicago in the 60s.
Grandma smells like Korea.
Minari, out in limited release, also getting a lot of buzz. The story of an immigrant family trying to make it in America. And Land stars Robin Wright, her directorial debut.
I'm here because I choose to be.
It's about a woman so consumed with grief that she decides to isolate herself in the Rockies. Land is also in select theaters and streaming on demand.
Yeah, never watching any of those. Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar. That's coming out as well. That's a comedy. I may watch something like that. But outside of that, I'm looking around. I'm like, there's just not a ton that's like out right now. I'm like going, there's got to be something, right? Like something new. I'm like, where's Nicolas Cage? He usually has a movie a week that comes out. And I know Willy's Wonderland's the one I'm waiting on. If you guys don't know what that is, let's just put it this way. It is the best movie of all time that I've yet to see. I just want it to stream. You can go see it in some theaters. But it is incredible. It's a horror movie like you could not believe. I just love Nicolas Cage. I watched him in The Croods, Leaving Las Vegas. He won an Academy. I just keep going. You won an Academy Award? That's it. You won an Academy Award. You won an award for being the best at what you do, and now you'll make anything. You, sir, are my hero. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us. It's Valentine's weekend. Like I say, if you've had an issue with your ex, you guys are broken up, you want to get over it, you need one final thing, let me know. Tweet at me, text me, and I will throw a special rat with your ex's name on it into my big lizards. Chad Benson Show.
This is the Chad Benson Show. Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
I don't believe in a stimulus check because if $600 or $1,400 changes your life, you were pretty much screwed already. You got other issues going on. You have a career problem, you have a debt problem, you have a relationship problem, you have a mental health problem. Something else is going on if $600 changes your life.
Dave Ramsey, better than he should be. He's absolutely right. $600 or $1,400 changes your life. That's real. And he's not talking about you're 21 and you get $1,400. You're like, oh my God, it's like we're talking about family of four. We're talking about people that are older. If this is a game changer, there's issues. There's plenty of issues. But that's how close people live to the edge. For all the craziness that's going on, this is the second impeachment trial. The second impeachment trial of Donald Trump. This is huge. In theory, it should be massive. It's not. Because people are struggling. And they live their life in such a way that it's teetering. My friend used to joke, some people are month to month. Some people are year to year. Some people are paycheck to paycheck. And some people are day to day. A lot of people, especially over the last year, have gone from month to month, paycheck to when's the next paycheck, to day to day. Their focus is this. Some people, their life was rolling along, and in the last year, lost their job, lost loved ones, and are struggling in ways outside of that we don't see. Things that matter to the people, which is you and I and everybody, are so much different. What's important in your life probably isn't important to the rest of the world. And what's important in my world, probably, I will guarantee 100%, isn't important to other people. That's where focus needs to be, is how do we get ourselves to a point where $400, $600, every year we go through it, right? Like 48% of people have nobody in retirement, and 72% of people don't have a rainy day fund that could survive, 2 months without a paycheck. Why is that? Life's expensive. We buy stupid things, we make bad purchases, but also there's just life happens so many ways. It happens. What happened? Life happened. Next thing you know, you wake up, you got a couple of kids. You're like, wow, you got a business and you're throwing money in there, or your business that you work at, it's month to month. You're focused on that. You can't be focused on other things. Why? Because right now you're working too hard to survive to focus on anything else. And that's where the disconnect comes, not just in impeachment, but across everything when it comes to politicians. They're focused on, oh, this is important. And what did he say? And look at this video of these idiots that stormed the Capitol. And then look at this and they start doing all these things. And why aren't people paying attention? Because they're working too hard to survive. And when they're not working too hard to survive, when they've taken a deep breath and they come up for air, the last thing they want to do is watch a bunch of people who don't really have any problems, who haven't missed a meal or a paycheck, pontificate and make grandiose speeches. Your life and what's important to you matters to you, just like mine does to me. That's why we focus on the things that we can control and that we need to deal with. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. And it's crazy, right? Like, here's a perfect example of just an everyday thing. You don't know what your neighbor's going through. You don't know what the person down the street's going through. You don't know, maybe even one of your friends is going through. You hear some stuff, but you don't really know what's going on in their life and how they can time on their hands. They start getting sucked into something and it becomes something that is their life and they're sucked into it. And it's their life is important to them. They eat into stuff. This is very interesting. About a mom who lost it.
Thought to myself, I wonder if my mom's here. I just thought to myself, let me check her YouTube. She was
here at this rally. Look at.
I will never stop loving my parents, but it's this switch that flips in them when they're talking about what the latest Q drop means. They're not logical anymore. They're not understanding, and often they're not kind.
She has never put anything else on the pedestal equal to the Bible. And it really feels like that with this QAnon stuff.
And it's a trip, right? That lady and their kids and all that was all important to them. Like they were sucked into this whole QAnon thing and they got in there and it became important. And sometimes when we feel like we don't have control over something, it's one of the big things that people get sucked into cults and stuff is they're looking for something else. They're gravitating towards something else. Things are out of control. People are struggling in ways, whether that's loneliness, or they feel like their life is out of control. And people around them, even though they're not lonely, they don't understand that. Then people offer them some sort of comfort. Also, with something like this, is you also feel like you're kind of in the know. Nobody else knows, but I'm in the know. Could be your neighbor. You wouldn't know. You may talk to him every once in a while, but you don't really know what happens.
It all started really in the 2016 election cycle. Hillary Clinton and all of the Democrats are pedophilic and cannibalistic people that are trying to control the world. Things definitely heightened when I got to college. They would background search my professors. Hey, your professor, they're a registered Democrat.
Is that nuts? There's like a girl talking about her mom and dad doing all these kind of things. Somehow, along the line, boom, it went in. Mom and them go in, and all of a sudden, they're gone. Nothing else matters because you get so hyper-focused on a certain thing.
Last time I was there, my family's house, told me that they have 3-year supply of meat in the freezer. They ruined my life. They ruined my family. They took what's supposed to be the best, most consistent, most loving part of my life, and they turned it into evil.
Is that crazy? I can't even imagine. Like, I look at my kids, and I'm like, I never do that. My little brothers and everything. I couldn't imagine doing something like that. People get sucked in. People start thinking about their own things. They get pulled into something. And then when things don't feel like they're right and they feel like they're out of control, they start grasping. They become hyper-focused. Everything around them doesn't matter anymore.
My childhood was as perfect as any childhood could be. In the recent year or 2 years, where this has become so much stronger within them, they've become completely different people.
I want to have a mom who loves me, we're past that. If she had called me up or texted me later that day or the next day and said, hey, listen, I was at this rally, it got way out of hand, I'm really sorry, how are you? That would have changed everything, but it's been crickets. I haven't heard from her.
It's not like mom or dad died. They chose not to. Leave it all behind. We become this hyper-focused world. That's why certain things matter to certain people in ways that it doesn't matter to other people, because I'll continue to say it. Your life revolves around you, so that means your world revolves around you and the people in it. And everybody's grasping or looking for something. Most of us are living life day to day. Some of us are living life good. What? That's crazy. It could be your neighbor. You don't know. Could be. Every one of us has had a friend that's gone down some sort of rabbit hole. Sometimes it's just silly rabbit holes. We all go down some rabbit hole. You've been on the internet and you're like, you start looking for something. Next thing you know, you're sitting there going, hey, who's this soccer player? He's an American? Oh, he's only 15. He's over there. Oh, he's played for this team. Next thing you know, it's 2 hours later and I'm down some sort of bizarre rabbit hole that we've all done it. But we come up for air. Even in your own life, no matter what the struggle is, you got to remember every once in a while you come up for some air. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. Mickey Mouse might join us later. Want to get the controversy? Gina Carraro, what happened? Why her? Why'd you get rid of her? We'll see what Mickey has to say. Cristiano Ronaldo did something that nobody's even close to doing. We'll touch on that as well. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Shows, your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. AMAC Association, Mature American Citizens, fastest growing over 50 organization in the country, giving you great benefits, retail, restaurant, hotel discounts, and so much more. On top of that, they will help you in ways that you cannot believe. Maybe, just maybe, you're saying to yourself, I need health insurance, but I'm not 65. What do I do? Oh, don't worry. They've got help there. Maybe, just maybe, you're trying to sign your parents up for Social Security, Medicare. You're not quite sure how to do it. It's getting very frustrating. What do? You give them a call. They help you. They're out there lobbying on your behalf for things like, making sure things like Social Security and Medicare are solved, and common sense immigration reform, the protection of our First and Second Amendment, and so many other things. Join them today. It's $16 for the year. amac.us/Chad. 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 Chad Benson Show.
I usually don't get into politics. As an ordinary suburban housewife, I feel a little disrespected. I teach my children not to name call.
You are a blabbermouth!
Come on, man. Guys, can we please keep the chatter to a minimum?
Chad Benson.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Ignition. Liftoff.
Now it's time to find out what's trending. What's trending? Yeah, what does that mean? I mean something, right? Like it's trending on the old internet. What's trending? All right, let's see what's trending here. The world of magic. Magic, baby. That's what we're talking about. Trending. Things happening globally on the interwebs. Start Twitter. Republicans call for investigation to Governor Cuomo following New York Post report on nursing homes. If you guys haven't seen it, essentially one of his aides said, yeah, we totally hid the data. But he wrote a book about leadership and how to kill old people. I don't think that's what the book was about. Are you sure? I thought the book was about how to kill old. It's not? Oh, goodness me. Remember when he was the bee's knees? The cat's meow? Remember that? Do you guys remember like when this first started? And now, we didn't know what was going on until much later. And I thought at first, well, at least he's out there talking and he's doing stuff compared to a lot of other governors who kind of ignored it. And even at times, but you didn't know what was going on behind the scenes. And by the time that really came out in July, you're like, okay, well, there we go. But he had a book. That's all that matters. What? Oh, yeah, kids. That's the way that rolls. Head on over. Other parts of the interwebs. Happy Lunar New Year. Big time. It's Lunar. I didn't know that. Yeah, it's Lunar New Year. Free PC Friday. What? Yeah, they're going to give you free PC to random people. It's kind of neat. Some of these places do it. I tried, but nobody likes me. That's right. Abraham Lincoln. It's President's Weekend. 16th President of the United States. And as we all know, according to San Francisco, a devout racist. No, wait, what? No? But no, I'm pretty sure he is. That's what they told me on in San Francisco. Head on over to Google. Like Google. Bumble. Their stock rockets 70%. Bumble is taking on Match. Bumble has several different dating apps. And their IPO. Bumble, I think if I'm correct, I think the woman makes the first move. I think that's the way that works. But I'm not quite sure. Lunar New Year, 2+ million. People are checking out the Lunar New Year. I think it was this time last year, if I'm correct, that Jack and I went to the Chinese New Year celebration in San Diego. And then I got sick about a week before. Well, it's not racist, it's reality. We really weren't taking it that serious. You guys remember? And then Jack got sick as well, and I was pretty much a hot mess for a few days. And everybody's like, and then everybody started saying, well, did you get sick? Because I'm like, I don't, because we weren't really paying the kind, we knew it was here. We knew it was starting to get serious, but we weren't paying that kind of attention to it because it was still novel, if you will. So that was, but I remember that was totally cool. That was the last time he played a basketball game. That was just a practice game. And then in like 2 weeks, boom, everything was canceled. Crazy. He's here now with me, so we got some stuff to do. We're going to ride motorcycles this weekend. He is. I go and I golf. It's hilarious. I'll be on the because I've got my own pitching and driving range by my house. It's our abandoned golf course that a bunch of the neighbors, they keep it up pretty good. A couple of the holes, and we all go out and hit. And Jack gets out there in this little motorcycle, and he jumps, and it is hilarious. Because, he thinks when we were kids, like I did stuff that was stupid. Man, I got stories, jumping, going to the hospital, landed on my head from like 20 feet. Doctor said you should have been dead. He'll jump a little thing. It's like, oh, Dad, you see how high I got? I'm like, oh, my God, like a cat. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us. Text the program, Chad Benson Show.
The Chad Benson Show.
Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
Right now, we have contracted for a total of 600 million, which would be just enough, and maybe even a little bit more, to vaccinate everyone with 2 doses.
What? Yeah. It's going to take a bit. 100 million or so will be here by May. Supposed to be here delivered by June or early July. But Biden really pushed to get them to roll it out quicker. And that's a good thing. It's a very, very good thing. Quicker we get people vaccinated, the better it is.
This afternoon, we signed final contracts for 100 million more Moderna and 100 million more Pfizer vaccines. We're also able to move up the delivery dates with an additional 200 million vaccines to the end of July. And in further good news, both companies agreed, and we're now contractually obligated to expedite delivery of 100 million doses that were promised by the end of June to deliver them by the end of May. That means we're now on track to have enough supply for 300 million Americans by the end of July.
And that would be a win. But you could have all you want. You got to make sure a critical mass get vaccinated. And the ones that don't understand the risk. I think that's the big thing, is making sure that people who decide, I don't want to get vaccinated. Some people, they just can't. They've got allergies. It just can't be done. That's a small percentage. But for the ones who are, you're going to get the ones who are vaccine hesitant. They're curious. They probably will. But they're not going to do it right now. They're not going to do it at a stadium. They're not going to go to some gymnasium. When it goes to a place where they're familiar, right? You pick up your pills there, and you've gotten your flu shot at the Walgreens or the CVS or your local little area pharmacy. So you know the pharmacist, and you recognize these people. You go to your doctor, you get it there. That's why the Johnson & Johnson one's going to be the one that will change this, because it'll bring it to the masses. And it's like McDonald's. Yeah. Are there places that you can go get better burgers? Of course. Are they smaller? Yes. McDonald's, they serve a burger. It's pretty good. Works okay. Gets the job done. And it's convenient. Plus, I trust in McDonald's. You ever gone? And the trust thing, I keep reminding people. You know, having lived in Europe, having traveled and done a lot of stuff, I've gone places where, you know what, I'm a little hesitant to eat some of the food. It's just, you know, and I remember one time, I think it was like 16 or 17. I was we were in Belgium or Germany. I was playing with like one of the U.S. development teams or something. My buddy and Kenny and I, we just watched one of the tournament games, and we were getting ready to watch another one, and we were hungry, and our game wasn't until the next day, and we went out, and there's this like little burger place, and we bought a burger. We got a burger. It was the grossest thing ever. We're like, is this horse meat? I mean, I don't know. It was just like, what? And we were starving. We turned the corner, and there was some McDonald's. Comfort. I was like, oh, I know that. I know those. I know that. And it's funny to see when you've been somewhere for a while. And yeah, you try some stuff, and some stuff's good, but some stuff that you're just used to, like things like burgers and stuff like this, and you're like, yeah. You turn there, and you're like, I trust that. And I think a lot of people are hesitant. They trust in certain things. That's why I think the Johnson & Johnson will be the game changer, even though if you look at the numbers, it's not as effective when it comes to preventing you from getting it, but from preventing you from dying and getting sick. Even if you catch it, does the job. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson shows your Twitter. Tweet at you. You know, everybody wants to be what? Social media star. Like this. I want to be an influencer. I want to be this. I want everybody. Like my son. We were joking earlier, but that's him and his friends. It's their dream, right? They want to be PewDiePie. They want to be, for those of you guys who don't know, PewDiePie, huge. Huge. But then he's been eclipsed by God knows how many people nowadays. Massive. Ninja also. Mr. Beast. SS Sniper Wolf. Azzy all of them are influencers. Kendall Jenner. Kardashians. So when you want to talk about being an influencer and being big, I just mentioned names. A lot of you are like, oh, I know who the Jenners, I know who the Kardashians are. Who's the biggest in the world? Cristiano Ronaldo, the soccer player, is the biggest, and it's not even close. He just passed $500 million with a B. 500 million followers across all of his social media. On Instagram, by the way, 261 million people. I'm going to say that again. 261 million people follow him on Instagram. Let me put that in perspective. Kendall Jenner, who everybody thinks is dominant, he's got over 110 million more people that follow him. 125 million on Facebook. $91 million on Twitter, YouTube's, it adds up. And that's why not only do teams pay him huge money, Juventus is where he's playing now. And I think he makes, it's meager, like 31 million euros a year, which is about $40 million. And I say that because when we talked a couple weeks ago about Lionel Messi, the soccer star from Barcelona, when they leaked his contract out and he was making 100 million plus a year, euros, like 125 million. But this right here, nobody knows what this pays him. But the influence that he has, imagine today if he said, listen to the Chad Benson show. I might get 10 million followers I didn't know I had. Like that. That kind of influence, that's huge. Huge. It's crazy. I couldn't even, that's insane. That's the kind of influence. Nobody on CNN has that influence. Nobody on MSNBC has that influence. Nobody on Fox has an influence. Nobody. His Twitter followers, bigger than Trump's. Oh my God. That is nuts. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. And by the way, his new girlfriend, Georgina, she didn't have a lot. She had some Twitter followers just being with him for a little while. She's got 24 million followers now across her social media. That's a win. Even if they split up today, there's your parting gift. Just want to, you're welcome. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show. Twitter. Tweet at us. Text the program. I do love hearing from you. I'm going to touch on this next story. We're going to do it in a minute. It's an interesting story about what happens, because there are people out there that the opportunity to exploit is real on television, and some people are fine with that. They'll be fine to be somewhat exploited because they feel it's a give and a take. And then there's situations where people feel like, hey, you're exploiting somebody, and it's not give and take. You're exploiting them for their thing. It's going to raise you up, but it ain't helping that person. And the battle between, people, the way they looked at Dr. Phil and that whole Shelley Duvall thing, and if you've never seen that, it was a hot mess, because she was a hot mess, and she readily admits that. Right? She's got issues, don't get me wrong. And I think we knew that. And by the way, a lot of actors and actresses have issues. We're going to touch on the Gina Carrero controversy as well. Maybe Mickey Mouse will stop by, tell us what happened there. Why did you fire arguably one of your brighter, bigger stars off The Mandalorian? And it couldn't be for a few of those tweets, because if that's the truth, why are any of them working 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show. Tweet, text, love hearing from you. Home Title Lock. Don't let this happen to you. Lose your home. Not because you didn't pay for it. No. Because somebody else pretended to be you, signed the paperwork over to themselves, and took control of your title, your deed, and next thing you know, you're getting bills in the mail. What do they say? You owe X amount of dollars. Why aren't you paying it? You're getting phone calls. Hey, Mr. So-and-so, you owe us X amount of dollars. And you're like, I don't know. Yeah. Well, that happens. Home Title Lock will help you prevent that from happening. Right now, if somebody goes and does something to your title, you don't know about it. Title's public record. Few bucks, some scouring on the internet. Next thing you know, somebody's got your title. They're doing things with it you don't know. Home Title Lock will alert you immediately. Something is happening. Stop it from happening. You go look. It might be something as innocuous as, hey, the bank and stuff went in there and they added a comma and put a period that they didn't know they had. Or it could be somebody's trying to steal your title. Prevent this from happening. Get Home Title Lock. Go check right now, absolutely free, see if this has even happened to you. It's happening more and more frequently. Easier to steal a house than a car, far more profitable. Plus, get 30 days free protection. HomeTitleLock.com. Register your address, see if you've been a victim. Use code radio. HomeTitleLock.com, code radio. HomeTitleLock.com, code radio. Chad Benson Show.
If you're part of the politically exhausted majority, don't fear. Your time to be validated and rejuvenated is here. Wake up. It's the Chad Benson Show.
Stonehenge is composed of two rock types. The larger, newer pieces are sandstone. The smaller, older ones are bluestone. Now a team of archaeologists led by University College London say the so-called igneous bluestone rocks actually came from an even older stone circle in western Wales. They believe they were dismantled and moved to the current site some 5,000 years ago. They've identified two quarries and a former stone circle site in Wales where they say these mysterious stones originated.
So now we got a new theory about Stonehenge. If you've ever watched the Eddie Izzard special, Dressed to Kill, and he talks about that, moving those rocks from Wales all the way over there. I love the line. He's like, "You didn't tell me it was this far. 200 miles. I didn't even know where I live." Because that's what it would have been like, moving those things. Because you figure you cut them, you move them. By the time you start that move, it's like some of you aren't coming back. Some of you are just going to disappear. You're going to go do other things. You're like, I didn't like my house anyways. I'm sick of living in that mud hut. Others, they just, it fell on them and they died. That was the perils of the day. I've been to Stonehenge. It's kind of neat. I think it's a portal to a different time, a different place. I always thought maybe it's a portal to something. Is that what it is? Or did the Druids go, hey guys, this is going to be great. Come here. We're going to get all these stones. We're going to get these Welsh people to help us with this. We're going to move it. And then we're going to set it up. It's just totally set it up however. But it's going to be in a circle and we're not going to have anything. Just throw it up. We'll write some funky stuff on there. We'll do some things. We'll leave little clues, but at the end of the day, it's the best joke. And we won't see it, but 300 years from now, people are like, oh, they got us. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Shelley Duvall, you remember what she went on with Dr. Phil? She's got some issues. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, I think we all knew that she had some issues. And there's a people like, Cash Me Outside Girl. A lot of people, they're willing to put themselves out there in such a way because they feel that there's an opportunity for a monicum of fame. They're looking for something. This will be great. They don't care if the thing that's going on makes them look like an idiot as long as people are paying attention. Some people, so both Phil and that person, they're both getting something from it. With the Shelley Duvall thing, it was sad.
I'm very confused.
Once thrilling audiences in The Shining, actress Shelley Duvall is now in a different kind of spotlight.
Well, hi, Shelley.
Appearing on the Dr. Phil show, Duvall admits she suffers from mental illness, making some wild claims about people coming after her.
The man who threatened me,
You're gonna get rid of him.
is the sheriff of Nottingham.
Well, that's interesting. What if there was a guy named Sheriff and his last name's Nottingham? Well, that'd be one thing, but I think she's not thinking that. And you know what the producers are doing? They're like, look, we got a chance to get Shelley Duvall. We've been talking to her. She's out there. This is going to be huge.
And about her late co-star Robin Williams. They starred together in the 1980 film Popeye.
Oh, Popeye. I don't think he's dead.
Where do you think he is?
Shape-shifting.
Yeah.
He looks real good in some forms, in other forms he doesn't.
Well, I don't really think that's the... Yeah. Wait, what? Did you say that out loud? Popeye was awful. Just want to let you guys know.
The Shining director Stanley Kubrick's daughter, Vivian Kubrick, called for a boycott of the show, saying, quote, "This is purely a form of lurid and exploitive entertainment. It's appallingly cruel." And actress Mia Farrow tweeted, quote, "There should be laws to protect mentally ill people from TV talk show predators like Dr. Phil."
This is really the type of subject matter that daytime talk shows thrive off of. People love to come in and watch what is considered salacious and what they think may be some sort of a train wreck.
And for some people, they get something out of it. You get to go on Dr. Phil, millions of people see you. You could raise a profile, and now there is a roadmap, Catch Me Outside girl and stuff, Bad Barbie, and she's gone on and she's had Billboard nominations and she's made a ton of money. This was totally different because both parties knew going in that was going to raise their profile. Both parties knew going in it was going to, give him ratings. And it was going to give her the attention and stuff that she wanted. Shelley Duvall, that was a different thing. Because you could tell, she thought the sheriff of Nottingham was going to get her. And she thought Robin Williams was shape-shifting.
But Dr. Phil, a licensed psychologist, says he only wants to help Duvall.
I want to have you checked out by some really good doctors.
I would like that.
For free. I'll pay for
If you
it.
promise me that they won't murder me.
I promise you.
It's another episode for the controversial talk show host that leaves many questioning who's really doing the helping.
Promise me that they won't murder me.
They didn't, by the way. She lives in Texas now. But that's one of those things where you see somebody who was using somebody. It's a cutthroat business. You take it and you put it out there, and it's different than a lot of other things where you see somebody who goes, all right, you know what? Yeah, people are going to make me look stupid, but I'm going to gain lots of attention. I'm okay with that. And you'll get ratings. That's exploiting both ways. She got exploited, and it was bad. Chad Benson Show.
This is the Chad Benson Show.
Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
Love is in the air, everywhere I look around. Love is in the air.
Yeah.
Every sight and every sound.
Look at that. Love this song. It's so bad it's good.
And I don't know if I'm being foolish. Don't know if I'm being wise.
John Paul Young, Scottish Australian pop star. This was his big hit. This was it. He had a couple other ones, but nothing like this one. Nothing. And then it's Valentine's, right? Like, you got to celebrate Valentine's. You get around it, celebrate it. We celebrate the beheading of Christian martyrs. by giving chocolates and cards to people that we feel obligated to because Hallmark says it's good. What? It's not what it's about, Chad. You're so full of it. That is not what it's about. Yes, it is. Love is in the air. Nothing says I love you more like, here's some chocolates and some flowers I bought from a guy on the side of a road because I forgot it was this. Here's a card I got at the pharmacy. I love you, babe. So true. Oh, my Lord. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. Tweet at us. It is that loving time of year. And yes, kids, I keep saying this, that this is a true story. It's about martyrs. And it goes from, starts way back when they used to behead people. The Feast of St. Valentine. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Heads off on the February 14th. Was it one? Was it two? It looks like it was two people out there. Heads lopped off. Whoop-a-da! That's actually love, if you think about it. You can give somebody a Hallmark card, or we can take your head off. Hallmark. Yeah, that's not very nice. Look, Hallmark makes great movies. I think we all know that, especially Christmas. They've got a bunch of these movies out here, too. They should just stick to that. They should just stick to that. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. Tweet at us. Text the program. Love hearing from you. It's interesting. Like, I'm sitting there today thinking, like, do you get your loved ones something? Like, would you rather be treated great a day a year or just awesome 365? And for some people, they put so much pressure on themselves. It's got to be good. It's got to be right. This has to be it. You know what, like, love is? You do the dishes, right? Yeah, babe, I got it tonight. You do the, just relax, right? I got this. I'm making dinner. I got this tonight. You go out for a day. I'm taking the kids, and we're going to go do something. Hey, you know what? Like, that's real. Like, most, that's real. Guys are like, yeah, I'm going to tell my lady that tonight. This weekend. Totally. Oh, my Lord. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. Why do I give you those numbers? A, I like to connect with you. And B, maybe you're not over a relationship. Maybe you're struggling getting over someone. I'm offering you this one-time opportunity to do so. You can tweet, you can text, you can go to Instagram and send me a message. If you've had a tough breakup, if you've had a struggling breakup, if somebody hurts you and you're like, I need to put it behind me, you can do two things. This one you could try. This is awful but funny.
Oh, okay. The Lexington Humane Society is holding a smear campaign just in time for Valentine's Day. For a $10 donation, your ex's name will be written on a litter box so one of the LHS cats can poo on them.
Yeah, that's what you said. Poo on them. Poo? Yeah, poo right there. Right there. In the litter box, name on it, the whole 9 yards. I love bad local TV. I think we can all agree it's awful. You could do that. Right? So you can have that. You can go on. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. Wherever you're listening. That's something you could do.
The Humane Society says cats. Oh, my gosh. The picture is terrible.
Yeah, the picture is pretty terrible. It's got somebody's name on it. And the cat's in there. Totally squeezing one out.
It's terrible. The Humane Society's cats can be spiteful creatures who are more than happy to take a number 2 on your former number 1.
Again, that's cost more usually, but all right. So that's something you could do. Or you can say, hey, Chad, I need to get over my ex. I want to put it behind me, but I'd like a little something, something. Can you help me out? Yes, I can. Got a bunch of frozen rats. Got a bunch of mice. You send me your breakup. As far as like, this person cheated on me. He's a jerk. She was mean to me. Whatever it is. She broke my heart. He broke my heart. I need to get over it for once and for all. Can you help me? I will name one of these, and I will feed it to my big boys and girls. Norman, 7 feet long. He'll gobble one down. Ozzy, 4.5 feet long. He's a beast. My giant Nile monitor, Mo. He will devour it. Gomez and Morticia, my big lace monitors. Gobble, 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 gobble. And let's not forget my beast of a snake, who's still a baby, Agatha. She'll suck it down fast, squeeze it. That way you can get over your relationship. I'd like to help, kids. I'm here to help. I want to help you. So if you're ready to get over it, put it behind you. Don't be bitter. Doesn't help. I'm here to help. All right? So you can tweet at me, at Chad Benson Show. Check out the Instagram as well. Hit me up on Facebook, Chad Benson Show. Or text the program, 323-538-2423. I'll take a picture, and we'll make sure we get it to you. Okay? That way you can go, oh, my God, that was hilarious. Makes you feel good. We're all about making people feel good on this show. That's what we're about. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us. Text the program. Coronavirus still out there, still messing with everybody. People are like, okay, looks like we're going to have we're getting to the point we're going to have all kinds of things like vaccines. Yeah.
This afternoon, we signed final contracts for 100 million more Moderna and 100 million more Pfizer vaccines. We're also able to move up the delivery dates with an additional 200 million vaccines to the end of July. And in further good news, both companies agreed, and we're now contractually obligated to expedite delivery of 100 million doses that were promised by the end of June to deliver them by the end of May. That means we're now on track to have enough supply for 300 million Americans by the end of July.
Sounds great. How many people will get the vaccine? I don't know, but they're doing everything they possibly can to get it there as fast as possible, which is exactly what people want to hear. Then you go to the other side of things, which is how much longer for these damn masks?
Let's say 70 to 85% of the people vaccinated. The level of virus in the community could be so low that you could start pulling back a bit on what are stringent public health measures. You don't want to do it all at once, but I think we're going to be wearing masks for several months.
It's not what I want to hear, Dr. Fauci. I'm going to go back to this again. I don't want to hear that. But, Chad, we're going to have to. Maybe we do in some areas. I think the states will decide what's good for them, and we know that. Some states, predominantly Republican red states, are going to be much more, how should we say this? They're going to have choice with masks. Some states are going to go, yeah, you wear a mask, you don't wear a mask. We're not going to freak out. Other states are going to crack down much longer. So we'll see what states do what. But I think at the end of the day, if we can get these damn things off our face, it'll be better for a lot of people. It's very weird, right? Because I've noticed one thing, too. People don't make eye contact as much anymore. It's like they're almost hiding. And it's just, it feels very defeative. It's like, and it's also, and I say this over and over again, I totally am fine with wearing masks. I do, because I have people here who I respect and like who have compromised immune systems, and I respect the places that I'm at, and they ask me to do it, I will do it. People say, wouldn't you do it? You know, if today they said, you know, you don't have to wear a mask anymore. So I'm not going to wear a mask unless somebody around me is really feels uncomfortable, because I'm not a jerk. But I think a lot of people, the first thing the question I get asked is just, when is this damn thing going to end as far as the mask? Because I think it's almost like freeing, like, you know, you're just taking, like ladies, taking off your bra, right? Right? Oh, you know, it's like that thing. Taking off your work boots after a day and just like, oh. And those poor kids out there, those poor teenagers, what do they call it, maskne? They got all the acne on their face. But it's also a confidence thing. I think when people start to see that, they're going to feel more confident. And it's not going to be overnight. Psychologically, people are still going to reach for their mask. Psychologically, people are going to still want to be in a situation where they're not in big crowds for a while, where they're not wearing masks. where they're not wearing masks in places they feel comfortable, but with places that would probably be fine, they're still going to wear a mask. So there's going to be a psychological effect. But I think that's, besides the vaccines and everything else, that's one of those effects. And I'm just sick and tired of wearing them. I think we can all agree. Is anybody happy that they're wearing a mask besides ugly people? Like, if you've got great eyes, but you're ugly, you're probably like, this is my jam. If you have bad eyes, but great teeth and stuff, you'd probably just like, oh, if there was something that we could put over our eyes only, not a blindfold, still need to be able to see. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show. It's your Twitter. Car Shield 24/7 roadside assistance. A rental car for free while your car is in the shop. And that shop's the shop you choose. They get them paid directly. Got to love that. With Car Shield, they don't care if your car's got 5,000 or 150,000 miles on it. They don't care if it's newer and more modern. I was talking yesterday to my buddy Chris Scott. He runs one of the big dealerships out here. And he and I were chatting about, just how complex some of the electronics are. And the microchips and stuff. He says these things are full computers. So if you have issues where you worry about electronics in your car, the expense of that, you're going to want something like Car Shield. Maybe you don't have that, but your car, you're worried about the engine, the transmission. Car Shield has a plan for you. Covered repairs have gotten more and more expensive. Just you look out there, get Car Shield. $99 a month is what it starts at. Pick a plan that's right for you and the car that you have. Call them today, 800-665-2157. 800-665-2157. Code Benson saves you 10%. Or go to carshield.com, carshield.com. Use code Benson to save yourself 10%. A deductible may apply. Chad Benson Show.
Hashtag me too. Hashtag immigration reforms. Hashtag help. I'm trapped in a hashtag factory and I can't get out. The Chad Benson Show.
These people were there desecrating the people's house, ruining things, hurting people, murdering people.
He absolutely should be charged with premeditated murder.
Maiming people and using the American flag as a weapon.
There is no president that has turned his mob against the United States government. Outside of Hitler.
This points to another huge problem, not the lasers, the wildfires. The people who believe in that kooky, crazy, bad conspiracy theory stuff.
The president of the United States of America had advanced planning.
This is evil. If you can't see what happened here, look in the mirror.
Is accountability really America's thing? Like barbecue and wraparound sunglasses?
Oh, my God. Drama much? Nah, not really. Stop comparing him to Hitler. Let's go over this again, okay? I don't like the comparisons. When people do the Holocaust, Gina Carrera got let go from Disney, and we'll discuss that in a little bit. Mickey Mouse is going to drop by and talk about that with us. But stop, right? Hitler killed 6+ million Jews, along with his awful, evil buddies. Started a war that killed 50 million people. But Donald Trump tweeted me stuff. Tell me again, and tell the jury on this doll, point to the parts where Donald Trump and its tweets hurt you. I don't do the impeachment stuff. We're over it. We're past it. We know the outcome. So we know the outcome. We know where this is going. It's premeditated. How? Tell me how it's premeditated. Tell me how. Tell me. Well, because they're saying that they knew what they were going to do and they were going there, and he gave the orders. Okay, where's the phone call? Tell me, where are the tweets? Where are the text? Where are the direct messages that said, this is what we're going to do. This is the word you're looking for. This right here. When you hear this word in this phrase, it's go time. Show me. Look, a lot of rhetoric, a lot of BS, a lot of overreaching, a lot of stupidity, a lot of fit throwing at times. But I'm curious where it is. Where is that thing? Not the guy who also believes that the Rothschilds, have laser beams that start wildfires. Not the people that believe the giant bird people control stuff. Those people couldn't be reading into anything. This was super info. Bunch of idiots. You know my position on Trump. Liked a lot of the stuff he did. Didn't like some of it. Couldn't stand the rhetoric. It was way too much about reality television than anything else. But if I am a juror sitting there in real life listening to somebody they say incited something for a speech that he or she gave, and your thing is they read between the lines, yeah, reasonable doubt. I got plenty of it. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show. Your tweeter, Mickey Mouse, going to join us, talk about what took place with the letting go of Gina Carraro. Straight ahead, Chad Benson Show.
The Chad Benson Show.
Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
Hey, y'all. My hair has been like this for about a month now. It's not by choice. No, it's not by choice. When I do my hair, I like to, finish it off with a little got-to-be glue spray. Just to keep it in place. Well, I didn't have any more, so I used this Gorilla Glue spray. Bad idea. Look, my hair, it don't move. You hear what I'm telling you? It don't move. I've washed my hair 15 times, and it don't move.
We know her. We do. We know her. Gorilla Glue Girl. That's not her name. Tessica Brown's her name. People attacked her, and, it was... Look, the actual act of doing what she did and then taking it to the internet. The internet thing was a fail because people are a-holes, and look, if I do something that stupid and I go to the internet, I expect people to make fun of me. She was looking for help, she said. I think some of it's also people like the opportunity to have a little bit of fame, the opportunity to maybe something go viral. That's why people do stuff, and people, in many cases, they don't care if it makes them look like an idiot or not. At least that's what they think. And then it happens and people attack, and it was stupid. It was a dumb thing. We all admit that. Tessica Brown, dumb thing, shouldn't have done it. Then they know what to do. It's Gorilla Glue, for God's sakes. It's Gorilla Glue. You don't put it on your hair. So after all of this stuff, and they've raised money for all of this stuff, she finally had a chance to see a doctor who got her hair did.
Crazy, huh? It's bad.
How's it feel to feel your hair like that again?
There's nothing to scratch it.
It looks great.
Incredible. Now I wish I'd have waited to cut my ponytail off.
You were in pain though, you had to.
How do you feel now that this whole ordeal is basically over? So you just came from the barber. Do you want to do any more hair styling now, or are you done with hair products for a while?
She's done with hair products for a while. They're making her a custom wig because they had to chop off some of that ponytail. They'd lop it off. Oh, man, that thing must have been, she was upset that they did that because what happened is she went to see this doctor. And the doctor said, I got an idea. So originally, everybody throws out, like, shave your head, do all these kind of stuff. And it's Gorilla Glue. We've talked about it this week. The doctor did something that other people, somebody at the urgent care or emergency room isn't. This guy's a plastic surgeon. He is, he had said, look, we're going to try a couple things. If not, we may have to do something. And that may involve surgery and taking off part of your scalp, which was, that could have been something bad. Instead, what he did is he essentially reversed engineered using chemistry, he said, and he went and used a bunch of different things, including medical grade adhesive remover. She got it all out. Good. All right, we're moving on. But then I warned everybody. People do dumb things. They do. Case in point, man by the name of Len. He was going to put the Gorilla Glue to the test. What did I tell everybody? People will do stupid things when there's an opportunity. They think at fame and stardom. Infamy, it doesn't matter as long as there's an opportunity at somebody paying attention. So this guy thought, I'm going to put it to the test. I'm going to take this Solo cup and put Gorilla Glue on it, and I'm going to stick it to my lips and my mouth, and then we'll see what happens.
With some Gorilla Glue and placed it in my mouth for a few seconds, or for a few minutes, in which I thought that I could lick it off, kind of, to moisten it and pull it right off. But that didn't work, though.
Yeah, that didn't work. So let's go over this again. Gorilla Glue. What is Gorilla Glue for? Everything but your body. So if you think for a second, might throw this up in my hair, don't. If you think for a second, I'm going to use this stuff as eye drops. Thank you, Phil. Don't. If you think for a second, this might be good for some toothpaste. Don't. Don't. Let's go over the skin. No. No. So here he is in the hospital. Picture of this big Solo cup sticking out of his face. He's got his face covered up because they're worried about the coronavirus. And so how'd they get it off you?
They did like a peeling, basically a moistening peeling, to get it off from there, from my upper skin on my lip, So basically all that has been torn off,
Yeah, if you listen to the first video, he doesn't sound like that. His lips are a hot mess, and they've said if it doesn't heal correctly, they may have to have plastic surgery and take some of his lip. In conclusion, we need a vaccination for stupid. Well, they're not stupid. We need a vaccination for poor choices. Whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to call it. But there is no vaccination for that. There isn't. That is amazing. But I said people are going to try it. And now that now that they kind of know that there's ways to go about getting the thing out of the hair, it's going to only amplify for here because kids are stupid. That's why we have Jackass 4 coming out, because people want to try stupid things. People like being looked at, and they don't care what it looks like. They don't. As long as it's viral, they're running with it. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. I'll tell you, again, I give you that number. If you've had an issue with an ex, you've broken up, you're still not over it, she hurt you, he hurt you, whatever it is, and you want to just put it behind you and you want to figure out how to do it, send me a text or a tweet, direct message me, and I have a bunch of frozen rats because it's feeding time at the Chad Benson Show Zoo for all my big lizards and snakes, and I will give these rats who are frozen, I don't feed live, mice, I do feed live because they're gross, names, and you can wish them goodbye. That's my Valentine present to you. Free speech. We talked yesterday about Larry Flint and free speech. He said one of the most apropos things of all time. He passed away, of course, started Hustler. He was the Pornhub before Pornhub.
Free speech is only important if it's offensive. If you're not going to offend anybody, you don't need the protection of the First Amendment.
Told a couple of people that yesterday. We were talking about it, kind of debating, especially some of the younger generation here who they didn't know who Larry Flint was. And we were talking about this, and they're like, well, why should it be offensive? because speech is offensive. Speech is offensive in a lot of ways. And speech comes in different forms. But what he was saying there, if we're not going to have the opportunity to offend somebody, which may come from an idea, a thought, a debate, maybe you're just an idiot or a jerk, or whatever. But if we're not going to have the opportunity to defend somebody, we're not going to need the First Amendment. And now we're at a point where it doesn't matter how it was meant, the nuance, the context, what was said, or if at the time it was said, it was totally fine. You'll be judged on it based on other people's reaction to it. Truth, data, reality means nothing. Even bad comparisons. So yesterday, Disney finally had enough of Gina Carrero. Now, if you don't know who she is, former MMA star, and it was not a great comparison. It was. I understood what she was trying to do. It's tough when you try to compare people, especially when you bring up anything that has to do with the Holocaust. It's a real tough thing. There's been genocide all over the globe, and it's just tough bringing up the Holocaust, and especially when you're trying to equate it to something. So if you watch The Mandalorian, you know she plays Cara Dune or Dunn. By the way, Mandalorian, just think of it's a space western. They were really excited. They were going to give her the opportunity to have a spinoff. This has nothing to do with the average person. Nothing to do with this. This is about her coworkers more than anything else. This is about her coworkers when it comes to nobody in the public. I mean, outside of a few people that shout everybody should be canceled, wanted her gone. This is the same company, by the way, and we're going to have Mickey here in a second, that the last time I checked, if you watch Mulan, which I haven't, gives a big shout out to the providence and the place for all the help that they gave Disney in doing Mulan in the Mulan kind of way, where they keep 3 million Uyghurs, Chinese Muslims, sterilizing the women, working to death the men. But hey, she tweeted something mean. Well, let's see it, chat. Let's see her. Let's hear the tweet. It's got to be horrific. One of the things that pissed people off is in September, she added beep, bop, boop to her Twitter, mocking people who list their pronouns. She denied that accusation, said she responded to people who asked her to list her pronouns. Why? What do you care? Just call me whatever you want to call me. All right? Oh, my God. She mocked people for using masks. The need for vaccines. Embraced baseless claims of voter fraud after the presidential election. And then she went out and dared tweet something about the Holocaust, comparing Republicans to modern-day Republicans to Jews. And it was not it's just tough when you do that. Talking about, hey, look, you get your neighbor to hate your neighbor. Then you get your neighbor to beat your neighbor. And then your neighbor will never wonder why the neighbor they hate and beat disappeared. Trying to say, hey, if you're a Republican, which is a big stretch, but whatever. James Gunn, though, on the other hand, he got hired back. Oh, God. James Gunn, on the other hand, who directed The Guardians, just did Suicide Squad, has other stuff, has written things and tweeted things like, you ready for this? Tell your 3-year-old when you're laughing, think of blanking 3PO. He'll appreciate it when he's older. Oh, yeah. Are you ready? Oh, there's a lot more about kids and stuff like that. At blank, I remember my first NAMBLA meeting. It was the first time I felt being okay with who I am. Some of those guys are still my BFFs. Those of you guys don't know what that is? North American Man-Boy Love Association. He apologized. He was let go by Disney, but they brought him back. Oh, God. Why? Oh, God. Mickey. Oh, no. Listen, I like Gina. Mr. Toodles. That's an issue, though. She should not be fired for that. She should be let go from that. A lot of it has to do with her coworkers. Her coworkers. They don't like her. She's not trans-friendly. She doesn't write her pronouns. Yeah, the pronoun thing, really? How do you identify, Mickey? Oh, wow. As a mouse. What kind of mouse? Just a mouse. I'm curious. A mouse. Are you a boy mouse? Oh, of course. Mouse. Don't go anywhere, Mickey. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Shows your Twitter. Tweet at us. Text the program. Lots of people say things. Sometimes the nuance is lost. Sometimes people are idiots. But the cancel culture needs to be canceled itself. I think we could all agree with that. Oh, yeah, except for where I can't. Oh, gosh. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Shows your Twitter. ExpressVPN, virtual private network. Get yours now. Anonymizes most of your searches. Hide your IP address. Makes it harder for them to sell your data because that data is worth money to them. Don't let that happen to you. Encrypts 100%. So it hides who you are. So they're not looking. I mean, eavesdroppers. Easy to use. One tap of your button or phone. Boom, right there. Or your computer. You're hidden, and away you go. So many benefits to having a virtual private network. Take advantage of this one. ExpressVPN is incredible. You will love it. Go to expressvpn.com/Benson. Hide your stuff. Get yourself protected. Hide that data. And when you sign up for a year, which is like 16 cents a day, you get an extra 3 months free. EXPRESSVPN.com/Benson. ExpressVPN.com/Benson to protect your data today. Chad Benson Show.
Don't let the Washington Beltway strangle you. This is where the exhausted majority comes to refuel, realign, and reevaluate. This is Chad Benson.
Free speech is only important if it's offensive. If you're not going to offend anybody, you don't need the protection of the First Amendment.
Best quote I've heard in a long time. I think it was a 97 interview with Larry Flint. Passed away this week. People getting canceled. Mickey Mouse and Disney. Hypocrisy. Canceling Gina Carrero over tweets and Instagram posts that you didn't like because you said it was super offensive to whoever, but other people can do it and you're just fine with it. Here's the thing. Hollywood's going to start to realize, hey, you know what? We're pissing off half the country. And a lot of that half the country comes to see our movie, if not more, than the other half who we supposedly align with. It's nuts. It really is. Sad. I know. I can't help it. Board members. The pressure. Mickey? I know. I'm sorry. Don't tell me. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet. If you had a hard breakup, if you can't get over your ex, doing something because I love you, you can tweet at me. You can text the program. Tell me what their name was, and I'll feed one of my big lizards a little snack. And that way you can clear your mind and be fresh and happy and get on with your life. Have a blessed, wonderful, amazing weekend. We'll do it again next week. I'm off Monday. My son's here, going to enjoy it. Talk to you guys Tuesday. Night, Jack.
This is the Chad Benson Show.